All right, let's just dive right into this, because we are looking at quite possibly one of the boldest claims out there in the AI space right now. The quote is, "We just open sourced an entire marketing department. It does the work of your first 6 marketing hires." I mean, just process that for a second, right? We are not talking about some clever new prompts trick. Actually, scratch that. It's not a copy-paste template at all. This is a massive structural claim from Arcadis about fundamentally replacing 6 human marketing roles with a single, highly engineered AI skill. Now, if you're sitting there feeling a little skeptical right now, look, I absolutely do not blame you. But stick with me here, because how they are actually pulling this off is completely fascinating.
If you've ever stared down the barrel of a huge product launch plan and just felt that crushing wave of overwhelm at the sheer volume of tasks you have to execute, well, you are going to want to pay close attention to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down this audacious GitHub repository known simply as Marketing OS. It's built to run seamlessly inside Claude, Codex, or Cursor. And listen, this isn't just another conversational chatbot wrapper. Not at all. It is architected from the ground up to operate exactly like a living, breathing, insanely efficient marketing team.
Okay, so we've all used the usual AI marketing tools. You ask for a campaign idea, and you get what developers are now literally calling interchangeable slop. You know exactly what I mean, those painfully generic LinkedIn posts padded with rocket ship emojis, constantly asking us to delve into a rich tapestry of synergy. It's awful. Well, Marketing OS fundamentally rejects that. Instead of generic advice, it produces rigorously scored artifacts. Instead of hallucinating data just to sound confident, it has explicit boundaries for what it doesn't know. And instead of a generic checklist, it hands you prioritized fixes. Honestly, it's the difference between asking a college intern for some brainstormed ideas and asking a seasoned marketing director for a ruthless execution plan.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll meet your new marketing team. Second, we'll get inside the 14 modules. Third, we'll explore the handoff workflow. Fourth, we'll unpack the anti-slop design principles. And finally, we'll cover your first 5 minutes of getting set up.
All right, Section 1, meet your new marketing team and structuring the 6 hires.
To really get Marketing OS, you kind of have to stop thinking of AI as this single omniscient brain you chat with in one window and start thinking of it as an actual office floor plan. See, when a traditional AI tries to be a high-level strategist and a detailed copywriter at the exact same time, its context window gets super confused. It just loses the plot. So the creators actually structured this repository into distinct folders, essentially literal hires with highly specific skill sets. You've got the head of marketing handling positioning, then the copywriter, the creative strategist, the launch lead, the SEO lead, and the analyst. When you interact with the system, you aren't shouting into the void. You are routing a task to a specialized sub-agent whose entire universe is limited solely to being a master of that one role.
Moving on to Section 2, inside the 14 modules, or the full surface a marketer touches.
Let's look at what these 6 specific hires are actually doing all day. The crucial point here is that these modules don't just generate text, they generate highly scrutinized deliverables. Imagine plugging your current landing page into the audit module. It doesn't just say, hey, your website looks nice. No, it runs a brutal funnel audit, gives it a weighted score from 0 to 100, and outputs a prioritized list of fixes. The copy module? It goes a step further. It generates 15 to 20 different variants. But before you even see a single word, an internal simulated expert panel scores them. It literally debates itself. Then it runs the winning variants through a slot patterns module. That module's only job in life is scanning for obvious AI tells and aggressively scrubbing them out. The whole shebang is graded and deslopped before it ever reaches your screen.
To understand why these modules are just so remarkably good, you need to know how they were built. The creator literally tore down the most starred marketing skills available on GitHub. We're talking collections boasting up to 44,000 stars. They kept the structures that actually worked in the real world, threw out the fluff, and added those rigorous scoring systems. And you know what? The community is noticing. This framework has quickly gathered 219 stars of its own. In the developer world, GitHub stars are basically highly scrutinized peer reviews, right? They're a proxy for real-world utility, proving that folks are genuinely hungry for this level of engineering.
Let's hit Section 3, the handoff workflow, and how these modules connect.
Now, having great individual modules is nice, for sure, but a real marketing department thrives on collaboration. Work doesn't just happen in a vacuum. Let's say you have a conversion issue. The analyst agent runs the audit and finds a leak on your checkout page. The analyst then automatically hands that exact data over to the copywriter agent, who rewrites the headline based on the leak. The copywriter immediately hands that over to the creative strategist, who designs a mathematical A/B test for it. And finally, the analyst steps back in to define exactly how you're going to grade the test result. Just think about how many days of Slack messages, Zoom calls, and calendar invites this exact loop takes in a real office. Here, it's a continuous, closed-loop workflow happening autonomously in seconds.
And it gets even better if you integrate external tools using an MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. If you aren't familiar, think of an MCP as a highly secure bridge that lets the AI reach out and actually press buttons in your other software. When you connect Marketing OS to a platform like ArcAds via MCP, the Paid Ads module doesn't just diagnose creative fatigue and hand you a PDF. It diagnoses the issue, writes the brief, and directly commands the external system to produce the actual new video or ad assets right there in that exact same session. That barrier between strategy and execution, it just vanishes.
Section 4. The Anti-Slop Design Principles. This is the secret sauce.
Okay, this right here is what elevates this from a fun weekend project into a serious enterprise-grade asset. The core of this is something they call the honesty spine. If you use AI a lot, you know it absolutely loves to please you. We've all seen an AI confidently claim a fake conversion rate just because it's desperate to give you an answer. The honesty spine physically restricts the AI from inventing proof. It forces the system to explicitly label its heuristics, meaning it has to tell you how it's making its guesses. And most importantly, it mandates a section in every single report called What I Couldn't Determine. It forces the AI to admit its blind spots. That simple addition is just a total masterclass in building actual trust with an automated system.
But they didn't stop at honesty. They built in progressive disclosure. Instead of loading all 14 modules every time you type a message and eating up your context window, which, let's be real, directly costs you money, a lightweight router loads first. The 14 modules cost absolutely nothing until they are specifically called upon. It's also sub-agent native, so it can fan out tasks to work in parallel. And perhaps most securely, it uses zero executable code. It relies on pure markdown. No hidden malicious code executing silently on your computer, meaning total peace of mind for you and a very, very happy IT department.
Finally, Section 5, your first 5 minutes and getting started.
Let's talk about how you can actually get this running today. Honestly, I was shocked by how unbelievably simple this is to set up, whether you use Claude Code, the desktop app, or Cursor. The most vital step has literally nothing to do with code. You just take their template file, rename it to brandcontext.md, meticulously fill it in with your product details, your tone, and your audience, and drop it into your project root folder. That is it. Every single one of those 14 complex submodules will now read from this one centralized brain.
But the creators offer a very stern warning about this setup phase, and I want you to really take this to heart. Quote, "Skip this and the output is competent and interchangeable. The one thing marketing can't be. If you don't take the time to fill out that brand context file deeply and accurately, you completely strip this operating system of its power. You're going to fall right back into the trap of AI slop. The AI can do all the heavy lifting and the complex routing, sure, but the actual soul of your marketing still relies entirely on your human input in that file. Your unique perspective is the fuel that makes this whole engine run."
So we've just walked through an open-source, easily installable skill that runs a 14-module marketing workflow, complete with rigorous grading, anti-slop principles, and automatic task handoffs. It really begs a massive question to end on. When a single AI skill can genuinely simulate the strategic and execution work of your first 6 marketing hires, what does the future of your marketing department actually look like? The barrier to entry for world-class marketing just hit the floor. The tools are right there, they're completely open source, and they are just waiting for your brand context. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go explore this repository for yourself.